Hey everybody, it's Erica here, and welcome to my TED Talk on following your dreams. No, that's not what I'm here to talk about. Well, kind of. So the other night, I had a dream. I woke up on Saturday morning and I remembered my dream. And during my dream, I had to write a 4-minute monologue about transformation. I was in some sort of class. I'm not exactly sure, but that stuck out to me. It was a very bizarre dream, but that there, remembering that I had to write this 4-minute monologue about transformation stuck with me. So on Saturday morning, I wrote my morning pages like I always do, and it kept coming kind of back to me. And I was like, well, maybe I'll write about transformation and see where that takes me. Had some very interesting things to say about it. And then I kind of put it away and thought, it was just a dream. It doesn't really mean anything. Well, throughout the day, throughout the weekend, I kept coming up with the word transformation over and over and over again. It was everywhere. And every time I would see it, I would kind of breathe in and think, yeah, okay, I see you, transformation, I see you. So here we are. I am doing my monologue today for you on transformation. So the thing that's interesting to me about transformation, after I did give it some thought this the last 3 days, is that transformation in itself is what? It's a noun. However, I really think it should be a verb. Transformation is much more a verb than a noun to me, because you don't just wake up one day and say, oh, what an amazing transformation. I've transformed. No, that is not how it works for me. That's probably not how it works for you either. Transformation is hard work. It is a lot of work. It is gut wrenching. It is heartbreaking. You will grieve a lot when you're transforming yourself and there's a personal transformation happening within you. You will most likely lose people in your life who meant an awful lot to you at one point. It's hard. Um, this is, and it's hard emotionally, but it's sticking with it. It's hard work. And so really, there's no shining light that comes down on top of you, just like there's a light shining down on me right now. This is not like before I transformed and oh, and after I've transformed. That is not how it works. So why do we do it? Right? Like, why bother? Why don't we just stay in our warm, cozy cocoon of comfort, that comfort zone, rather than go through that messy, terrible transformation phase? Well, some people do, and that's okay. Go ahead and stay in your cocoon. It's comfortable. I get it. I've stayed in mine for a really, really long time. And for a long time, I was in my cocoon, knowing that I wasn't happy in my cocoon, but I was convinced that I was fine, and that it was just the world around me that needed to change. You know that feeling? Yeah. Well, guess what? It changed things that were happening in my world. I still felt stuck. I still felt uncomfortable. And that's when I knew I'd outgrown my cocoon. I was in pain. I was uncomfortable. It was not where I wanted to be. So the only way to get to the other side is to go through it. I'm pretty sure there's a camp song about that, the bear that went over the mountain. Something like that. Yeah. Anyways, you gotta go through the messy transformation phase to get to the other side of comfort again, because you just hit a point, or at least I hit a point, where my comfort zone was no longer comfortable for me. And that's a really scary place to be, that the world that you knew, that used to be really comfortable to you, is no longer comfortable. And you have to make some changes, but it's hard and scary. And it feels really lonely too, because I don't know if we always talk about that, right? We talk about that I've transformed, like, here I am on this side, glowing in the light, but we don't always talk about the right before that, like, oh my gosh, I'm really uncomfortable and I don't like where I am and I think I need to make some changes, but we don't talk about that. Maybe we should. that's a whole other blog, and I only have 4 minutes, and I forgot to set my timer, so I don't know where I'm at. Um, but yeah, so we 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 do it because we're uncomfortable. Because that's what I transformed a lot of my life because I was really uncomfortable with where I was. Okay, great. So how do we do that? Well, for me, it was all about awareness. Awareness was the very first step. I had to be aware of the fact that I was uncomfortable. I had to be aware of the fact that the uncomfortableness, the discomfort that I felt was coming from here. It was coming from within me. It wasn't my surroundings necessarily. I mean, my surroundings were making me uncomfortable too, but I could have been anywhere and I still would have felt uncomfortable. I needed to change myself before I was going to be comfortable. And so that awareness was number one. Um, and then from there, I slowly make changes. How I became aware of where I was and what I wanted was I had to slow down and listen. Not just slow down, I had to stop. I had to stop everything that I was doing and listen to my body and listen to my heart and listen to my soul. And that was not something I was used to doing. I liked things to be really loud around me because I felt safe in loudness. I felt safe around that because if everything was really loud around me, then I didn't really have to listen to what was going on inside of me. Um, yeah, big, that was huge for me. The awareness piece for me as well came when I started writing. And I know I dwell on this all the time. You should journal. Journaling's great. Write every morning. Yeah, there's a reason I say that because it made the biggest life change for me that I can even begin to describe. That's where it all happened through writing, through the daily practice of writing every single morning. I started to see themes and patterns. I stopped what I was doing. I took that time with my coffee every morning to write down what was happening within me, what was happening around me, and I listened to that. I mean, not right away. Trust me, a lot of my pages were all about other people, other things. Sometimes they still are, but eventually we got into it. I got further in, and once I realized that, then I was really able to make some changes. I was able to listen to where I was uncomfortable, what was going on, what would help. I didn't know. I didn't know where I wanted to be because I didn't even know what my options were. I didn't know what I wanted to feel because I didn't know how to feel anything different than what I was already feeling. There's also professionals, and I'm sure I'm way over 4 minutes right now. So I'm going to wrap this up with professionals. um, if it calls to you, if you really wanted to make some changes, I would really, seek out some support system, some professional support. I found great comfort and support. I saw a counselor. I've seen osteopath. I had neurofeedback done for months. I've seen other, my body was collapsing. So I saw massage therapy, I saw a chiropractor, I did acupuncture. But seek it out and find what works because not one of those things is going to work for you. I saw a naturopath too, and I saw my family doctor weekly for a year. She's amazing. But yeah, seek that help. I can tell you what works for me, but I am not a trained professional. That is, that's not something I can offer you. I can only just share my experience with you and what worked for me. Okay, there's your TED Talk for today. Erica, founder of Open Sky Stories, and you can hire my TED Talk services at openskystorries@gmail.com. Or if you have a dream and you don't know what to do with it, I urge you to act on it because otherwise it's going to show up everywhere in your life until you do. All right. Thanks, everybody. And I will see you